Hey there from the Nanuk Lodge Polar Bar. It is time for a couple of new cocktails. Today we're going to focus on gin drinks. It's fall now, and I like to bring gin back in a little bit. It's kind of that transition. It's still a light drink. It's not heavy like whiskey, so you might have a nice warm fall day. This is perfect for that, and yet it leads into winter. A little bit of the juniper from the gin, and it kind of brings you just right across that transition from seasons. The first drink I'm going to talk to you about is something I call the Auntie Lou. My sister Louise brought me this really cool bottle of liqueur called Sage. They don't make it anymore. I happen to have, this is my last bottle of it, but it's really it's a sage flavored liquor, but it's really very, very similar to a gin. So we're gonna use that, but if you don't have it, you can't find it anymore. But I wanted to just share it with you because that was the inspiration for all this. Gin. This is Prairie Organic. It's not super expensive. It's got great flavor, and it'll be perfect for making in this cocktail. The other three ingredients are limoncello. This is my homemade version of limoncello. A little bit of lime juice, so we get some acid, and then some mint syrup. And if you go back to the spring episodes about mint drinks and mint juleps, you'll find out how to make the mint syrup there. But I was inspired by this because she likes a complex cocktail, but not something super fruity. And so all of these flavors remind me of my sister, so I made this cocktail. It's on our bar list all the time, and I call it the Auntie Lou. The second drink in this episode is also inspired by my sister Louise. For years and years and years, she says, I don't like gin, I don't like gin, I only drink vodka, I only drink vodka. And then she had something called a Corpse Survivor No. 2. It's a gin-based drink, but it's got a lot of stuff going on there. And she went, ooh, all right, maybe gin's not so bad. I've got a little bit of a twist to mine. The Corpse Survivor No. 2 calls for Lillet, which is a French aperitif. I always have a little bit of dry vermouth in the bar, but I don't have any Lillet, and I make this cocktail once a year and the bottle goes bad, so we're going to use dry vermouth instead of Lillet. It'll taste a little bit different than a traditional Corpse Survivor, but it's still perfect for my sister. So, the ingredients in the Corpse Survivor that I'm going to make, No. 2, or you could call it Corpse Survivor Nanuk Lodge, whatever, starts with, again, gin. I'm going to use the Prairie Organic gin. It also gets a little bit of a rinse with absinthe in the glass, just to give it a little bit of that pop of that anise flavor, that licorice flavor that's so traditional in a Corpse Survivor. We're going to use the dry vermouth, Martini Rossi, a little bit of fresh lemon juice, and then orange curacao. This happens to be a bottle that I picked up in Nashville. No, I wasn't in Nashville. I was in Louisville at this really cool place called Copper and Kings, where they make their own brandies and orange curaçaos and stuff. So I got that there. And I was actually able to bottle it myself and out of the spigot and stuff. It was a lot of fun. They make some really cool stuff, but you can get orange curacao in any liquor store. Really simple and easy. Don't get the blue stuff. It'll taste very similar, but it'll turn this drink neon blue. And maybe you want that. Who knows? So those are the ingredients for the drink. Let's put it together. First step in making this Corpse Survivor is to rinse the glass with absinthe. So you put just a little dribble in there, about 1/4 ounce, not much. All you want to do is get the flavor in there. And just kind of rinse it around the glass like this. Just all you're going to do is wash the sides of the glass, and then you can get rid of that. This drink doesn't necessarily need a drink, but sometimes I like to make it up, just upscale it just a little bit. Take my channel knife. A little bit of lemon in there. So now you've seen how two cocktails go together. Both gin-based, but very different. The one that I call Auntie Lou is a bit more sweet, right? It's got the mint syrup in there, it's got the brightness of the mint and the freshness of the lime. This one is all alcohol with a little bit of lemon juice. This one's gonna be a little bit more strong for sure, but also not quite as sweet at all. It's gonna be bracing and delicious, but not a hint of sweetness in this drink. Enjoy. This is my version of a Corpse Reviver. You can taste all that gin, all the juniperness, a little bit of licorice flavor from that. You can get a little orange, a little lemon, and the dry vermouth just gives it just a hint of bitterness. It's great.